Susan Ozipko is an interior designer, and she's going to be telling us and showing us some designer tips for your interior. And now that it's kind of wintertime, Susan, people are spending more time inside. We've got a little bit more time inside.
Right.
You can easily freshen up your interior without doing a whole lot of change. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And what I brought today is sort of two examples of taking two scenarios and creating two different examples of what's trending this year.
Sure.
Tell us about yourself. You're with SO Interiors.
I am. I'm the principal designer. I've been doing this for about 10 years or so. I studied at Ottawa. I originally started at Ottawa School of Art, and then I went to university at Ontario College of Art and Design.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, you know what? Probably my first opportunity where I sort of got introduced to design was at my parents when I was in elementary school. They were looking for a new house, and so they brought me to the model houses. I got to read the plans, and I sort of gathered that I really had a passion for it, so I kind of did some drafting.
For it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, well, take us through. You've got a couple of samples here of setups. Take us through what you've brought in.
Okay, so the first setup is sort of what we call a more refined and elegant look.
So pretty.
Absolutely.
So pretty. I love that cushion.
Yeah.
And that's a great way, right? To freshen up what you have inside is with
absolutely.
You know,
so accessories.
Yeah.
So accessories are a great way just to sort of bring in the newest trends, and also mixing. So don't be afraid that, I have sort of some items that, I want to update. Very easily, you can use a throw, pillow, and accessories just to bring in
what
the
are
latest
some of
trends.
those trends? You were talking, is it like bringing,
I'm just gonna
you were
cross over
talking
here.
about
Sorry.
bringing the indoors in or bringing nature in?
That's right. So you
Yeah.
can see an example of where the end table here, a live edge table.
Yeah, beautiful.
Bringing in natural greens. Things like, throws, whether they be fake or real.
Right.
And that sort of thing.
And what's really interesting here is that I think a lot of people are afraid to mix styles.
Absolutely.
Right? Because if you look at this table, it's kind of got a rustic feel, but also a modern sort of look to it. But you've mixed it with a truly modern table.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can mix styles?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest trends that we're finding this year is that we're not just sticking to contemporary, modern, we're mixing a lot of styles together. So one of the leading trends is sort of this mid-century modern. So I know everyone's sort of glossing over, kind of saying,
What is that?
what is mid-century modern? So let's see, the biggest example I can probably use is Mad Men. So, their sets. So the plastic molded chair. This is probably one of the most iconic molded chairs from that time period.
Yes.
So what we're finding is that we're mixing in these classic pieces in with contemporary, modern, and transitional. So this is one of the, anyway, yeah.
Another buzzword that you mentioned earlier was Hollywood Regency.
Yes, absolutely.
What the heck is that?
Okay, so notice that the gold is coming back.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest. Yeah, but
brass
it's not as brassy or bright. It's more. We're finding it's very luxurious and it's more
Worn.
burnished.
Yeah.
And worn. So you're finding burnished brasses. You're finding the bright golds, and you can see here also we're also doing a lot of mixing with metals.
Yeah.
So everything from chrome to the gold to sort of like a burnished. Industrial modern look, and also going with the black metal tubing. Again, that's another trend that's happening. So you'll see here, the table, even though it is sort of a very casual look, the pin hair legs are a mid-century modern style.
Let's talk about color.
Yes.
Because colors, obviously, Pantone comes out with their colors of the year, that kind of thing.
Oh, we have that here.
Yep.
A little
painting.
controversial, these colors, don't you think?
These is this sort of the trend where we're going for 2016?
Well, I hate to go against sort of the, Pantone is really sets
You
the
didn't
trends
like
for the
him.
years.
You didn't like him, did you?
So it's sort of one of those things where it's sort of I think you love it or leave it. I can really see it happening in fashion. A lot. This year was the first year where they introduced two colors.
Okay.
So what they're trying to do is combine the two colors, and I find in fashion it works really well. And again, in interior design, we can make it work. But what I find difficult about the rose is that I'm still sort of that 80s and 90s where we're bringing a lot of that rose in. I mean, we can make it work with using a lot of neutrals and bringing in with the whites, like let's say
and
with
in
this scenario.
small hits, right? You don't have to paint your wall pink.
No, but
you can just
yeah.
throw in a pink
Something
pillow.
small. Okay.
Absolutely.
Or a
That's
blue
doable.
pillow.
Yeah, that's totally doable.
And do you suggest that? And this is my rule of thumb, because I really do. I do a lot of designing in my house. I watch Sarah Richardson, who is my favorite. But I think I might have a new favorite here. I think I might have a new favorite here. Is I keep my big elements neutral.
Absolutely.
My walls, my couch, my chairs neutral, and then I can play with color and change it up anytime I want.
Absolutely.
Because you can with pillows and small elements, right?
Exactly. And one of the biggest things one of my clients say is like, I don't know what to accessorize with.
I was just going to say, that's most people, that's me for sure. And you described accessories as the jewelry within your house. So what's a good place to start with accessories?
Well, think about objects of curiosity.
Okay.
So things like this cloche here.
So pretty.
One of the leading sort of trends that we're sort of encasing and looking at things that are sort of specialty items. So again, sort of like a handmade bird, or even let's say, for example, you want to introduce some of your kids' artwork and that sort of stuff. You don't know how to bring it in because you can put it into an item like this. Exactly. So it has some personality to it.
Sign.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
So
it actually
great.
lights up too.
It does light up. I was going to ask you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
So you'll find, you can
Where
bring
would you
in
put
recipes.
something like that?
Well, I would mix it in with sort of our casual contemporary look on the
On a
wall,
bookcase or something?
on a bookcase, or even putting a collection of.
Not pointing to the kitchen, right? That away, guys.
And again, one of the biggest trends too, geodes.
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of people are
Really
decorating with
pretty.
geodes. Yeah.
I use these on my desk as a paperweight, and I think they're just beautiful on the corner of the desk.
But it's a little shot of color.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so this was sort of my take on the Pantone colors for this year. So as much
Beautiful.
as they were a little bit lighter, I'm thinking that a lot of colors are going to be coming into sort of more saturated. And you're going to
tone.
see that with the, sort of this Hollywood Regency
start
style.
cutting
So as much as
nice.
I use sort of like the navy blue, but you're going to see sort of the fuchsias, the purples, the emeralds with this sort of Regency look.
And I'm a classic white. I love that
Absolutely.
plainness of white.
Too.
Yeah,
I love white too.
That's a great little accent.
So what we're
piece.
finding is more architectural geometrics that are coming through. So you're going to see pillows, again with the chevrons, with the geometrics here, and again in the shapes of the objects as well.
Okay. People want to get in touch with you,
Yes.
Susan. Where do they go?
www.sointeriors.ca.
And you're out of Canada, right?
I am. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you so
That's
much
awesome.
for this.
You're very
we're
welcome.
going to have you back.
Will do.
I need you back. Let's put it that way.
All right. Coming up, we're going to get skincare tips. And in the wintertime when we're getting all dry and all, we're going to...
Lukia's here.
Lucia is here. We'll be back right after this.